Hello everybody. Sitting in front of us here is a piece of 2.5-inch exhaust tubing that I cut at a 45-degree angle in order to make a 90-degree. And the reason I'm making a video of this is because I don't have a horizontal bandsaw, so I wasn't able to easily cut a nice, even, accurate 45-degree. So I thought up a pretty crafty, relatively simple way to do this if you don't have a horizontal bandsaw at your disposal, just hand tools. I just used an angle grinder, so the cut isn't perfect. I botched it a little bit, but it works pretty well. You can do this with any sort of hand tool. And I wanted a nice even cut, so there weren't any gaps, so I could weld it easily. And so I thought, if you were to cut this tube and open it up flat, the curve that this cut edge would make would be a sine curve. And so I thought, what if I get this sine curve and somehow draw it onto the circumference of this tube and cut along that line, and it should make a nice 45-degree cut. And I was correct. So how I did it, if I want to make a 90-degree bend, that means the cut will be made at 45 degrees with 2.5-inch diameter tubing. That triangle you see there, the height and the width is 2.5 inches, because that angle there is 45 and that's a 90. So what that means is that 2.5 is the height of that sine curve. And then I needed to figure out how long this curve needed to be so it would fully wrap around the tube. And if you remember from your geometry class in high school, circumference is pi times diameter. Diameter in this case is 2.5 inches, so the circumference is 7.8. I halved it because the sine curve I found was a half a curve, so I needed 2 of these to fully encircle the tube. So the 3.925 is this length. It's actually this length. This is a cutout for this size tube, for the 2.5. So I'll show you how I set it up. Alright, so all I did, I clamped this in the vise, and I have my cutout made from two individual half curves here. And I wrapped it around, aligned the edges up carefully, taped it, and then I taped it down onto the pipe so it wouldn't move. And then I carefully traced with a Sharpie along the edge of the paper like so. And then I was able to take this off. And you can see that is a 45, or if you sort of eyeball it, it matches up with the square. And here's my test cut. I cut this with an angle grinder, so it's not a perfect cut. There it is originally. Now I wanted to make a 90. And there it is. It's a pretty perfect 90. There's a little gap because I used an angle grinder, but that'll weld up just fine. So anyway, I hope this helps some of you guys. If you have a bandsaw, like I said, It's a lot easier that way, but this will work in a pinch. It really didn't take too long. Just required a little bit of thinking and a little bit of math. And I thought it was a pretty nifty solution. So hope this helps out some of you guys. Thanks for watching, and as always, come back for more.